Hello everyone, this is MountainRain. I would just like to talk to you a little bit today about my journey over this past year and starting my YouTube channel and how much I have changed. And when I first started my channel, one of the big reasons for starting it was that I wanted a change. I needed change in my life. I was stuck in a rut. I was experiencing the same pain over and over. When I finally came to a place within me, I had been afraid to change. I had been afraid to look at other ideas, to look at other options. And I'm not talking outside of myself, I'm talking about within myself. The way I grew up, the religion I grew up in, the way I look at life, the pessimism within me, the way I judged others. It was a cycle that perpetuated itself and repeated itself over and over and over throughout my life. I had found myself isolating myself. And I did this when I first started on an unconscious level because I didn't want to feel pain anymore from others, which I thought was coming from others, and within myself. I wanted change. And as I isolated myself from others, not completely, I was still there for my family and others, but mentally I was separating myself from the ideas and the pessimistic outviews. You might say I became more quiet and would think about things before I would say them, and think about the outcome that I would feel after I said them, and the outcome of others' responses to my words and actions. And as I started my channel and going within myself, I was pulling out a lot of the ideas and feelings I had over the years of what made me feel good as a human being, what made me feel like I was doing something for myself and for the world, what made me feel complete. And this is what started my channel, and pulling those ideas out of myself. And the more I pulled those ideas out of myself and put them into pictures and song and visions and art, I realized and felt this knowing within me that there was more in me to pull out, more latent, hidden abilities that I never even knew existed within inside of me. And as I began to pull them out one by one, expressing myself, speaking differently, being conscious of what I was saying, telling people I loved them, anyone and everyone that would accept it, I found that I was loving myself more, and I was feeling more complete. the more positive I spoke and thought, the more positive I felt inside about myself. And I don't want to say and move in the direction of positive and negative. The feelings I got from being more loving, kind, and compassionate were the very feelings that I was feeling inside of me. And those feelings seemed to resonate for longer periods of time the more I spoke them. And those aspects that I considered the negative aspects that I felt pain from started to lose their hold in a vibrational frequency that seemed to kind of slow down, just kind of move away out of my thoughts. I found myself, as I have much of my life, moving in waves within my mind. I started to notice that pain and bliss came in waves of feeling good and joyful, and waves of feeling pain and sadness. I started to recognize the thoughts I was having in those moments and what was creating those waves. And as I began to control the thoughts coming into my mind, the waves began to level out, become like a sea of glass, and a peace that I had never known existed within me began to form and take root within myself. And the more I noticed the thoughts coming in and choosing what thoughts to let take root within me, and those thoughts to push away and say they are not a part of who I am and what I want to be, the calmness began to come more and more. And this was a process, and it took time. It took months for me. It took a complete year to get where I am right now. And for others, it may take less time or more time. I think much of it depends on your determination and your will. And at this time, my will was, before all of this started, I was broken completely and utterly broken. At that point, when you're that broken, and you come, me, I won't say you, when I came to the point of making a decision whether I wanted to live or take myself out of this world, that's how broken I was in the journey. And both aspects are completely frightening. Completely. And there are points where taking yourself out seems easier than jumping into the unknown, because the only way to get out is to go within. And that's scary when you don't know where you're going and you can't see the path ahead of you, and you're saying, I don't want to do the same things over and over, because all it has brought me is pain. So, needless to say, we know what path I took. And when I think about the path I took, Jesus has always been close to my heart. And I think about how Jesus went through isolation when it talks about him going 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. He knew how important that time was for him. And I recall a part that I used to read in the Bible about Jesus standing on a cliff. In the core of my being, I believe that he lived the example of a life well lived. He did not push. He did not judge. He loved. His whole life. I do not think he was meant to be worshipped in the way people worship him. He wanted to live the life of a human being, a life that was well lived. And the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert was an example to us to go within. In times when we feel pain and we are lost, we need to find ourselves within the isolation, to go into the kingdom within ourselves, and that kingdom is our own thoughts and the thought process that we have total control over, and we choose, and we have the will to do it. This is the power that was given to us by the Creator. The power within us is the ability to control our own thoughts. We think of God as this ultimate magical being. What I have come to understand is that the magic of God and the strength that he possesses is not what we think it is, and think being the term thought. It is not a one thought process. It is a multi-dimensional process, meaning that each soul upon this planet is a piece of that process. Nothing can ever be separate from the eternal Creator when it comes out of his thought. We are his thought, and we are multidimensional in that thinking. And each thought process that he throws out into the universe is completely separate and different and unique. Not one thought is the same, as each fractal soul is different and unique and not the same. But it resonates, each resonates at a particular frequency only unto itself. And each must find that balance within itself, within the journey and the mission that it came to do, to bring back with it and to bring within itself that balance. is a beautiful journey. All the things that I'm speaking of is from my personal experience, only to be taken and used and put out there for those that it resonates with. If it doesn't, throw it out. But for those souls out there that understand what I'm talking about, and one of the main reasons you came to my channel was to find that something within yourself and that balance, will understand what I'm talking about. I love you all, and this is a beautiful journey, and I believe in us all. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Everybody is unique and different and divine and holy. And we must accept everybody for who they are at this moment and not try to change anyone's beliefs or knowings or ideas. That's not why we're here. We're here to love. We're here to accept. And we're here to create ourselves individually. By doing this, we change the collective through knowing. If someone does not believe the way you do or I do, that does not make it wrong. We are responsible for our own thoughts. And we do need to take action if an individual is encroaching their thoughts onto another individual, causing pain. But we cannot willingly judge somebody for a thought that is different from our own, if it is causing no harm. Thank you all for joining me today. Peace and love. So be it.